All these athletes are 15, 16 years old, maybe a couple younger. We've got 6 boats across. We've got Thompson Boat Club, lane 2, Washtenaw, lane 3, CRI, lane 4 and lane 5, West Side, lane 6, and the Don Rowing Club in lane 7. So the lone Canadians from Mississauga on the far side, and the 2 red boats in the middle from Community Rowing in Boston.
Really distinctive red hulls. Again, out of Hudson, we've seen a lot of Hudson boats today. And if you're down here at the island, you'll see a lot of Hudson boats all around. Perhaps not surprising, they are a local North American, very competitive hull boat shop out of London, Ontario. You can visit their Shark Zone on the island here. They are one of our sponsors, Hudson Boat Works. As I said, kind of a local company for you as a London resident.
Yeah, they're a gold sponsor at the Regatta, so they are here in full force, and really great guys and girls who work for Hudson.
Yeah, so we unfortunately did not get to have our opening ceremonies. The weather didn't cooperate, but just as we're waiting for the start of the under 17 women's 8, maybe just a bit of a shout out to some of our sponsors. So, for example, this year we have a new partner, the Canadian Rowing Club. Wow, I need some coffee. Maybe I should go to Starbucks on Martindale, one of our other sponsors, and wake myself up so I can say that the Canadian Henley has a new sponsor out of Blumex, and they're providing flowers that you'll see at the island.
Yeah, we also, big shout out to Regatta Sport. It's their 30th anniversary this year. So they've been kitting out rowers and dragon boaters and runners and all sorts of athletes across the globe.
Another new sponsor you might find this year, I don't know if you've gotten to see their tent and product this year, but Lululemon has a bit of a spot down there near the Henley Island Helper booth on the island here. So it'll be interesting to see their Lulu Lounge.
And while you're down there, you can grab a hot dog from the Henley Island Helpers. The under 17 women's 8 is off. 6 boats across, pretty clean start. These athletes, again, they're 15 or 16. They won't turn 17 this calendar year.
And we'll see who can bring this one home this year. Last year it was won by Thompson Boat Club out of Washington, D.C. As Ali alluded to, there's a strong American field this year. Thompson is in lane 2, Washtenaw in lane 3, CRI in lane 4 and 5. They're out of Boston. West Side Rowing Club out of Buffalo, just over the border here from St. Catharines. And Don Rowing Club, the lone Canadians, in lane 7. So we'll see what all can be done. Can the one Canadian crew kind of stick in here, or will Community Rowing, that really constant presence here at the Canadian Henley Regatta, have a good showing here out of either of their 2 crews that seem to be pretty in there? Looks like the lane 4 CRI just out, maybe a boat length ahead as we approach the 500 meter.
Definitely hard to tell, but there's no mistaking those red unis and the red boat. It's easy to spot. I'm sure their parents are thrilled because they'll be able to see them coming a mile away.
Yeah, and it does look, it is the lane 4 crew that is out ahead, followed, I think, closely about bow to stern. You've got Don Rowing Club, then lane 2, which is Thompson Boat Club trying to reclaim last year's championship, followed by the West Side Rowing Club. Really tight racing from the rest of the field, but
Yeah.
CRI lane 4 trying to just inch out in front and increase their lead a little bit more.
So these women are all racing to the finish line of our last final today. They're racing for the Algoma Central Corporation Trophy. The Algoma Central Corporation operates a number of shipping and marine industries on the Great Lakes, and their headquarters are here in St. Catharines. The first ever winners of this event in 2005 were from Brockville, Ontario, Brockville Rowing Club.
That's very exciting. Again, mentioning the Hudson Boat Works that is out of London, Ontario. Also out of London, Ontario, of course, University of Western Ontario, my alma mater. I believe you've got a degree there as well, Ali. And just to bring things completely full circle, the Rowing Canada Next Gen coach at the University of Western Ontario is, of course, Dane Lawson, who hails from Brockville. So really just a lot of Canadian representation and connections, and I feel like I'm just drawing one of those charts on a wall mapping a conspiracy theory. But, it's Canadian rowing, so there's no big surprises, no big conspiracies, I think, as CRI approaches the 1,000-meter mark in the women's under 17 women's 8. Dawn Rowing Club chasing them down. Looks like Dawn Rowing Club sitting in second, but we might not be able to see Thompson Boat Club out of lane 2, see if they're closing in. But no, it does look to be Dawn in second place. The lone Canadians trying to chase down the Americans and hold off really an entire field of American crews chasing them down.
Probably a really exciting race for Sky Elliott, the coach from CRI. She's got her name on the draw. I'm sure she's really excited to see. She's got really 18 athletes that are capable of pulling off a final in the under 17 women's 8.
That has got to be absolutely exciting as a coach to have that depth of a program, being able, I'm sure, to run piece after piece, practice after practice. You've got these athletes battling it down. I know, being from St. Catharines myself, it was an awesome experience as a junior, kind of just, the A, B, C, fours, the eights. You get a real experience, a real handle on what competitive racing is like. Even when you're not racing, you can just kind of do it Monday to Saturday, every practice. And it can really, I think, help some of those big programs.
For sure. I think the thing about being in an 8 is that you're always, particularly in a competitive program, you're always trying to defend your seat. So I'm sure between these two boats, there's been a lot of switching around, a lot of, competing to get into one boat or the other, and pretty exciting stuff to see them both in the final. It does look like in stroke seat and 7 seat, Erin and Anna, you've got a set of sisters in the lane 4 CRI crew.
And yeah, Dawn Rowing Club sticking in there. Dawn Rowing Club, the far side of the course, so not right up against lane 4, who's leading, but Dawn just maybe a foot or two of open water behind CRI. They're doing a really good job to hang in tight there. They're kind of on an island where they're just not able to push back into CRI yet, and they're pretty well clear of Westside Rowing Club, who's sitting in third. So we'll see if Dawn Rowing Club can inch up in this last 500-meter mark. It's going to be a tough go, fairly difficult challenge, I think, for them to push up on CRI, who really does have that commanding lead in our final of the day.
You can see the fatigue starting to set in. Their body language starts to tell a story of pushing through the last 1,500 meters. They get tired. They get a little bit mentally fatigued as well. So their coxswain's got to pull out all the stops at this point and kind of remind them that pain's temporary, and they've got to kind of pull in their sprint and get through to the finish line as fast as they can.
That is definitely one thing that's really tough in this bottom 500. I think helps a lot when you do have a coxie in a tight race like this. As much as I did a lot of racing in small boats my last few years of my career, having a coxie, perhaps like you, Ali, that can kind of draw you out of the pain cave, so to speak, and make you pay a little more attention, wake back up, be aware of what your body is doing. CRI, obviously, their coxie, Sofia Garcia doing an excellent job, her athletes, her whole crew doing a good job as they cross the line unofficially, but again, looks to be a pretty clean race. Congratulations to those girls.
And the crew from Dawn's not giving up to the absolute last stroke. It looks like they even clawed back a little bit to take second place there unofficially in the under 17 women's 8.
Just, you can see the fatigue. Even normally winning erases that fatigue, but those CRI girls, they are feeling it. You know what? Well done to have that kind of a lead the whole race and keep pushing to the point that you're still that fatigued at the end of the race. Very well done.
And bringing in for the final there, CRI bringing up the rear as well. CRI lane 4 unofficially winning in a time of 6:39.27, 4.25 seconds ahead of Dawn Rowing Club. You've been watching all the finals today, the first day of finals at the Royal Canadian Henley Regatta. We want to thank everybody who tuned in, who sent messages onto Facebook and Instagram. You should be following the Canadian Henley on social media through Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. If you're not, go do it now. And you can find all the official results through Regatta Master. So if you type in m.regattamaster.com, you can see all the final results from today that'll be uploaded to that website, as well as the schedule for tomorrow. You can join us tomorrow. I believe our first event is at 3:24 tomorrow.
I believe, you know what? Good job, Ali. We didn't even have the schedule pulled up, but that is accurate, at least from the preliminary draw. Final draw, I'm sure, will be released, having put together all of today's results from semifinals and heats. So we will see you tomorrow.
It's been a pleasure. Brent Duncan, thanks for having me.
Ali Zimmerman, thanks for giving a hand, lending your voice, and tune in tomorrow, folks. We'll have events number 20 through 36 running finals in the afternoon at Canadian Henley Regatta.